Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, a high-performance, very light jet makes a first flight. FAA TFR in North Dakota is controversial. Airbus cuts jobs in Europe. Hello, I'm Christopher C. Odom. It's December 2nd, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. On November 21st, the Stratos 714 very light jet took to the sky, according to information received from project partner Abbott Aerospace. The Stratos brings to the table a history of experience of developing and working with kit aircraft. According to Abbott Aerospace, the Stratos 714 was devised as a response to the lower performance single-engine VLJs proposed about a decade ago, which include the D-Jet, the Cirrus Jet, the Piper Jet, and some others. Stratos says they saw little advantage in developing a single-jet engine aircraft that has lower performance than an equivalent propeller aircraft. They decided to go with an aircraft that has a service ceiling of 41,000 feet and will cruise at 415 knots true airspeed. The next steps for the company will be to gather flight test data and prove out the performance and handling predictions. The very light jet market is a tough nut to crack, and the VLJ landscape is scattered with failed projects and underperforming results. We'll be watching and reporting on further developments. Amid claims of the misuse of a federal authority, the FAA has placed a temporary flight restriction over the area where protesters are attempting to stop the Standing Rock oil pipeline in North Dakota. The TFR prevents all flights over the protest area except aircraft operating in support of law enforcement. That includes UAVs, which might capture video and images of the sites. Journalists have been advised they may apply for advance permission to fly drones over the sites, but no waivers for journalists have been granted so far, according to an FAA spokesperson. Provisions for waivers are listed in the new FAR 107. The TFR is said to be in effect through Saturday, December 3rd. Arguments are being made that the TFR is an attempt to restrict press access, while the FAA says they are following procedures to ensure the safety of the manned aircraft being flown by law enforcement officials. After the break, Airbus operating cost reductions means fewer jobs.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Build and fly with the most exciting line of kit aircraft on the market, the Sonex Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great Sonex Aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonexaircraft.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. If you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. It's been announced that as many as 1,164 jobs are being cut by Airbus as it merges its corporate headquarters with its commercial jetliner headquarters. The Wall Street Journal reports that the job cuts were announced by the plane maker earlier this week. The report indicates the headquarters merger is part of a restructuring plan designed to increase profitability for the company. The positions being eliminated are mainly office and support staff, according to Airbus. Some 325 positions will be transferred to other locations, and according to the report, the company will create 230 new jobs focused on digital technologies. Jobs will be eliminated in a variety of ways, including voluntary departures, early retirements, and redeployments of human resources. Airbus is currently beginning talks with its various unions representing workers, which it hopes to conclude by the middle of next year. It's Friday, and that means it's time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. Here's this week's barnstorming.
Thanks, Chris, and hi, folks. Well, this past month was horrendous. It was busy. It was exciting and exhilarating at times. It was one of the most intensive I can recall. A little bit more than a month from now, I turn 60. And outside of the fact there's a lot of people who lost big money at long odds that I'd ever make it past 30, yeah, it's quite a milestone. In the meantime, I'm really looking very carefully at what we've done and how we've done it. And this month is a really good indication of how powerful what we've built over the last 20 years can be. We did Redbird, we did NBAA, we did DeLand. And all this was in the shadow of the loss of Bob Hoover and the fact that, frankly, it put us off our game a little bit. It's one of the best friends we ever had, a person I love to talk to. And yes, when the going was tough, Bob was one of the guys I talked to. And as a guy who literally fought wars on behalf of his country, it was a good guy to throw things against the wall with and say, okay, I've got this battle and that battle. These are the things I'm standing up for. Am I an idiot, or is this the stuff that you really lay your career on the line for? And I got tremendous support from him for that, because to him it was all about being a good citizen. And I loved him for it. I love the advice, and I frankly love the backup. And boy, do I miss him. So we had about a 10-day warning in which we got the nod to do the live stream. The live stream was intense. We normally have a couple days on site to prepare. Instead, because the hangar was one of Clay Lacy's beautiful jet hangars, we couldn't get in there and get started till nearly 8 o'clock in the morning with a call time of 2 p.m. So in less than 6 hours, we strung over 1,000 feet of cable to cameras and internet and audio. We taped it all down so people wouldn't trip. We got everything figured out. We started putting in all the necessary data. I watched Nathan Cremasino, who ran this, and Laura Hudson, and a number of other support people just do phenomenal work for us. And despite the fact that we had a very short period of time to deal with it, at 1:54, 6 minutes before call time, we were ready to go. Granted, the last few things weren't that critical, but it was exhilarating, it was maddening, and it beat us to a bloody pulp. And we got it done. And that's the nature of who we are and what we've done. But I also have to single out some people who made it possible. I got to tell you, if there's a finer guy in this industry than Hal Shevers, who donated serious bucks on behalf of the Sporties Foundation and made this possible. He was the difference. I don't know who could have done it but Hal. We also got phenomenal support from Mark Scheuer at PS Engineering and the folks at Lightspeed Aviation, and we so appreciate all that, because seriously, without them, we wouldn't have made it. As it was, this thing cost us dearly. It cost us a lot more than anybody donated. We'll lick our wounds, we'll deal with it, because it was all for Bob, and that's the finest concept I can possibly espouse for the moment, but we did it. But at the same time, in the next few weeks, you're going to be hearing some wild stuff. ANN is poised to literally triple the size of this company. We've made a number of agreements. We have more work on our plate than we've ever anticipated. I have no idea how we're going to get it all done. But the nature of who we are is we don't necessarily know how we're going to get it done, but we do it anyway. There's great things happening. I'll be talking about that in the weeks to come. There's phenomenal stuff on the Airborne horizon with new Airborne programming, whole new programs devoted to certain segments of the industry, and some great partnerships that I'm tremendously excited about. So do me a favor, wish us the best, keep an eye out, let everybody know that ANN is out there to support this industry, build this industry, and create a new future for us all, because in the long run, it's what our lives are all about. It's what we believe in, and most important, it's what we're geared to do with every ounce of our being. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell, and wait till you hear what's coming next.
After these messages, Dream Chaser spacecraft to operate out of Midland, Texas Spaceport.
The Bristol Light Sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristol is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristol.com to find out how you can get into a Bristol today.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Explore no limits flying in the FAA certified Sea Ray Amphibious LSA, one of the top 3 best-selling LSAs in the U.S. Progressive Aerodyne Sea Ray comes equipped with a Rotax engine and exhibits extraordinary handling on land, water, and in the air. Check it out at www.searay.com.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing a few of those other great stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Midland International Air and Spaceport, located in Midland, Texas, is now considered a compatible landing site for SNC's Dream Chaser spacecraft. Midland is already an FAA-approved spaceport and deemed suitable for both testing and commercial operation of the Dream Chaser spacecraft. Several aviation advocacy groups are welcoming the nomination of Elaine Chao by President-elect Trump as Secretary of Transportation. Chao has experience in policy leadership, including previous service at the DOT as Deputy Secretary in the administration of President George H.W. Bush. The FAA has published a safety alert for operators emphasizing the importance of utilizing checklists and specifically performing stabilized hover checks before departure. This is in response to review of the helicopter incidents and accidents over the past 5 years. Able Flight and The Ohio State University will partner on a new flight training program for people with physical disabilities beginning in May 2017. The program will begin with 2 Able Flight Scholarship recipients who will participate in a 6-week training program. The Association of European Airlines, which represented 22 air carriers in Europe, said in a statement they would dissolve the association by the end of this year. A new association named Airlines for Europe has been formed to represent a broader base of airlines. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now, let's get back to the rest of the news. An international team of 65 female skydivers from 18 countries set a new world record on Sunday, November 27th, for largest all-female formation while maintaining a heads-down profile. The women traveled from around the globe for the record event at Skydive, Arizona in Eloy, south of Phoenix. The team surpassed the previous record of 63 set at Skydive, Arizona in November of 2013. The skydivers leapt from 4 aircraft flying in formation at 18,000 feet above the ground. Because of the heads-down position, their speeds approached 200 miles per hour and gave them only about 60 seconds to complete the formation before deploying their parachutes. The group successfully set the record on the 4th day of the event and 16th attempt. The U.S. Parachute Association will submit the record to the Federación Aeronáutica Internacional for ratification as an official world record. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited stream daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. And do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Keep flying. We'll see you Monday.